Hey everyone, welcome back to Revision with Miss Sweet. Today, in this short video, we are going to explore the literary and historical context behind My Last Duchess, written by Robert Browning. So grab a quick drink, find a comfy place to watch and listen, and let's go! Literary context. What is literary context? Well, it's how the literature or poem is influenced by historical, cultural, social, political, and religious elements. Robert Browning was an English poet and playwright. He was famous for his dramatic monologues. Common themes in his work includes irony, characterization, dark humor, social commentary, historical settings, and challenging vocabulary and syntax. But what are monologues? Monologues are passages of text spoken by a character to reveal their thoughts and feeling about an event. The entire poem, My Last Duchess, is a monologue spoken by the Duke of Ferrara, whose complaints about his wife instead reveals his own deep character flaws. Browning created his poems during the Victorian era. The Victorian era was a period in British history that lasted approximately from 1820 to 1914. The era was characterized by a class-based society, a growing number of people able to vote, a growing state and economy, and Britain's status as the most powerful empire in the world. During this time, Britain gained enormous wealth and a position as world leader and underwent great developments in fields such as technology, industry, medicine, and science. During this era, women labored within the paid workforce in increasing numbers following the Industrial Revolution. Women in Britain had severely limited or almost non-existent rights. Under English common law, a married woman lost her legal independence. She could not enter contracts or sue, and her property and obligations were mostly taken by her husband. However, feminist ideas spread among the educated middle classes. Discriminatory laws were repealed, and the women's suffrage movement gained momentum in the last years of the Victorian era. The Victorian era saw a perplexing shift in religious beliefs, with the Church of England still dominating, but a surge in progressive forms of Christianity and an intrigue in scientific concepts and evolution. What is historical context? Historical context is the history which is behind or inspires the literature. In My Last Duchess, the historical context is the Renaissance period in Italy. Browning wrote this poem during the Victorian era. The Victorians were fascinated with the Italian Renaissance, including its poetic forms, music, architecture, and culture. The Renaissance lasted roughly from the 14th to the early 17th century, placed an emphasis on humanism, individualism, the arts, and science, all of which particularly appealed to a Victorian society that was making scientific and artistic advances of its own. The Duke who inspired the poem, Alfonso II d'Este, was born on November 22, 1533. He faced challenges during his reign, including political unrest and conflicts with the Papal States. Alfonso had 3 marriages. His first wife was Lucrezia de' Medici, whom he married in 1558, after her death in 1561. The poem, My Last Duchess, is believed to be inspired by Alfonso II's relationship with Lucrezia. However, the Duke Alfonso II is actually the last duke of within his family, as he had no children. Perhaps Browning created the poem ironically, as he was the last duke. Alfonso was a patron of the arts, and his court was known for its cultural vibrancy. Artists and intellectuals, including the famous composer Luzzasco Luzzaschi, were supported by the Duke. The Duke, at the age of 24, married his Duchess, Lucrezia di Cosimo de' Medici, the 13-year-old daughter of Cosimo III de' Medici, Grand Duke of Tuscany. Lucrezia was well educated, and the Medicis, her family, could be considered nouveau riche in comparison to the wealthy and distinguished Este family. In the poem, the Duke's remark regarding his gift of a 900-years-old name clearly indicates that he considered his bride beneath him socially. The Duke then abandoned her for 2 years before she died on 21 April 1561 at age 16. Although there was a strong suspicion of poisoning, it is more likely that the cause of her death was tuberculosis. It is speculated that the rumor of poisoning was started by enemies of Alfonso II. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video has helped give context to the poem. Please remember to like and subscribe.